What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. And today we're going to continue our series on the Uncanny Counter 2 Counter Punch. Woo, that's a lot of coos. But yes, so today we're going to be talking about episode 5 and 6. So, as always, sit back and turn it to 11. Right.
So we got 5 and 6 coming in.
5 and 6.
And we start off where you see Mr. Ma in the trial. You know, and you have Mr. Choi or Director Choi hooked up the best lawyer in Korea to get, Mr. Ma out. And all he had to do was follow directions, right?
No, he did not.
Of course, we saw at the end of episode 4. However, I don't know how it feels to be Mr. Ma at that moment because it's his wife, it's his lover, it's his
horrible.
bae.
I would imagine horrible.
And it doesn't matter to him what the outcome of today was because either way, she's gone. Minji is gone.
Right, and she ain't coming back.
And Treasure is gone, yeah.
Yep.
So, you can only really just try to understand where he's coming from. But man, it is tough. It's really tough, especially when you have an evil spirit in your head.
Yeah, constantly telling you,
it's
lies.
Weird to have like a sludge person in your head talking to you.
Yeah, I think that I really do like that visual of the evil spirit.
Yeah,
like it's all like tar or some kind of black
sludge.
Goop, sludge. Yeah. So I think that's really cool because it just adds to her, and then her teeth are usually white.
Well,
right?
It's sort of. Well, not because her tongue is also the same color as her body.
True. I swear her teeth are also white, and it just kind of adds, or is it maybe her eyeballs? One of the two. But it just adds to the creepiness of the evil spirit that's inside of Mr. Ma. Yeah. And it's crazy.
And props to Yumi, Jung Yumi, who plays the spirit or the evil spirit in his head, to be able to be in all of that crud. Stuff. Yeah.
And on top of that, have that voice as she's talking. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I tried to mimic that in
the voice.
One of the episodes, and I'm like,
get rid of him.
Yeah.
Get into your rage. I don't know.
That sounded like a Trump.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit like Trump
going on there. That's too funny.
That wasn't where I was going with that, but
hilarious.
We were here. Anyway, so we see that Mr. Ma is in court, and you see that everybody's like, yeah, no worries, he's gonna be out of here, no worry, ma'am. To his mom, we good, we got everything.
Best lawyer,
Director Choi, monies.
Yeah, best lawyer in the city.
He owns IKEA, dude.
Right.
And so you see that, oh man, and then Pil Huang and Gelly gets in there.
Yep.
They walk in. I was like, of course they're gonna. And I was like, Mun don't feel that. Mun don't feel that evil presence because he's supposed to have uncanny power. I felt it was weird that he couldn't see that. I was just like, you're not gonna have the territory up, but it makes sense because he's totally oblivious.
Yeah, they're so enthralled in the trial that they. Yeah, because I was wondering that too. The homie's right behind you.
Right.
How do you not sense him?
Yeah, exactly.
If he was there to kill you, he would have done so. He would have killed you.
And even it goes to show power difference Mun has between Miss Chu, because for as long as they've done it, you'd think that they've had some kind of intuition that something bad was nearby. At least with Motak being a police officer, he didn't have any kind of it is he wasn't even alert. I felt, but it was probably because his friend is on trial. Mr. Huang gets in there with Gelly, and they just sat down regular citizens would, not evil spirits, because evil spirits still go to court. They're there because of the spirits, but not so much the spirits go there voluntarily. And I thought that was funny. I was like, what do they think they are, or who do they think they are? They're literally going to court for another spirit.
They're big fans of the courtroom because they already went there for Mr. Park's, or was it Park or Kim?
I believe his name is Park.
Yeah, Mr. Park's.
Park. I don't know how to. I get him mixed up with Pil Song or Jokbong.
Jumbo.
Oh, that's his name. Yeah. Oh, there you go. No, Song Uk.
Oh, sorry, that's the actor's name.
Yeah, the actor's name. Yeah.
So the actor's name and his character name, both last name is Park. So
It's a little tough.
Sunguk.
You know, funny or not funny, but crazy. I think how their last names are all the same. It's based off of where they live. So it'd be like the park of, and you could tell which generation, something like that. And when people share the same last name and they're from the same spot, it's almost like a university where, you know, like, oh, I went to Seoul University. Oh, me too. We're alma mater, but I have 86. You're like, oh, 76. And they're like, oh, they're tight. So that's kind of how it is with their names, I think. That I saw it in another show, and I believe I saw it in a variety show. But I think that's pretty cool.
Because you're all different clans, and you could be part of the same clan.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend who's Korean. Shout out to Kevin. What's up, bro? And his last name is Shin. And I remember him telling me that when he was younger, he was dating a girl whose also last name was Shin. They weren't part of the same, like, family, but they were part of the same clan because their last names were Shin. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't, their parents were like, no, you can't date each other.
Oh,
Even though they weren't related.
Right.
But because their clan is Shin, they weren't able to date each other, so they had to break up.
Interesting.
From it. Yeah.
That sucks for your.
I think he said, I could be wrong, and for any other Shins out there, you could probably correct me. But I think he said there were like there's 7. I'm gonna just call it sub clans of Shin. Mm-hmm. Right, so there are 7 different families of Shin, but they're all under the Shin clan. So, I could only imagine Park how many there are because Park is like Lopez.
Yeah.
He's the Lopez of Korea,
sure,
you know.
Sure.
So I think there got to be a bunch of them everywhere. Yeah. But so yeah, I can see what you're saying. That does make sense.
But yeah, I'm not sure. So you know, for those who are listening and those who are watching, you know, go ahead and try to correct me on that because I am definitely interested in understanding the clan part and the last names because I know that a lot of folks from Korea have the same last name, but they are not related by blood or from the same province, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think that plays a bigger role in the families. But anyway, sorry, I just thought that would be nice to talk about because I'm interested to know.
So here they are at the trial. And obviously, Mr. Ma kind of like, he says, I regret everything. But what he regrets is not killing Mr. Park.
Yeah, out of nowhere, right? He just goes completely just evil spirit. Well, talking wise.
Right. So everything just goes up in flames. Someone is trying to talk to him and say, what are you doing? Don't worry, we'll fix this problem. Yeah. And he's like, nah, I'll fix the problem. Like, I don't need you. Stop interfering in my life, you know? Nothing you're doing is helping me. And I mean, you guys already know, man. Mr. Ma, all I was hoping is for him to fight through this. And it's a losing battle for the man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he is not winning. And it's killing me on the inside. So it's sad to see that. But they go back to try. They go back home. Obviously, Mr. Ma's mom is devastated by this whole situation because she was also hoping that he would be out of jail. Duh. The rest of the counters are all devastated as well because their friend has just kind of confessed that it wasn't a mistake for me trying to kill this guy. I was trying and I just failed. Yeah. I had a moment of weakness in his mind and he's like, nah, right? Mm-hmm. So they're all sad and Jokbong comes and he like pops a confetti bomb thingy.
Oh yeah, back when they get home. Yeah.
He gets back home because remember in the last episode he left and they went to go get him because he thought he wasn't good enough or whatever. So now he's home. He pops the thing and everybody's like, wrong time, bro, wrong time. And they're all they kind of treat him a little bad. He's like, you guys are the ones who wanted me to come back home. What the heck? He
starts picking everything up.
He starts picking up all the confetti and everything. But of course, the next day they actually have a surprise for him, and they're happy that he's home. He just came at the wrong time.
Yeah, wrong time, wrong place.
He seems to do that a lot.
Yeah, he's a little clumsy one. Yeah, airheaded a little bit, but it's that innocence that he has, which makes his character a little fresh. You know, because So-mun, when he came in, he wasn't like a clumsy kid. He was more of a trauma kid that was going through trauma, and he had a like a forever injury that would make him not walk ever again. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
And so seeing Jokbong being the clumsy, happy-go-lucky guy that easily gets pulled in from insecurities, you see him come into the group, and it's really refreshing, you know, to see. Mm-hmm. And then after we see that everybody, you know, welcome back Jokbong, they hit the road on the way because I believe someone found a evil spirit stepped into the territory. And so although that he felt them, he didn't know where exactly they were. And that's where Jokbong comes in and he starts using his, his nose.
His no.
And he's like, and it's weird the way he sniffs, because it sounds like he's eating. He's like,
Yeah.
like, I was like, it sounds like you're eating a noodle, And I was just like, you hungry, dog? But, and he gets pinpointed to where they need to be. And then all of a sudden, you got a whole gang, right? Because I believe Gelly and... Wait, was she by herself?
Yeah, she was by herself.
Yeah, she's by herself.
She went to... Or you're talking about when she goes to see where... To get her money back,
Yeah.
or their money back.
Yeah.
Right? And with the gang member... I forgot what the guy's name was. But yeah. She went solo, of course, because... I mean, is it Gully? I thought it was Gilly.
I thought, it could be Gelly, but I could be saying it...
Oh, Gelly.
American.
Oh, Gelly.
It could be Getty, I don't know.
Getty? Yeah, it's probably Getty.
Yeah.
But we are definitely with an English accent just going Gelly.
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 Choi.
But Getty, she definitely. I mean, she could take care of herself with these people, and so she goes, and obviously, like you were saying, and on top of that, Bloodhound over here, Jokbung. Once he smells somebody, he recognizes the smell, because he's like, oh, it smells so familiar. At first he couldn't figure out who it was. He's like, oh, the smell. I know this smell. I know this smell. I know this one already. And so obviously they go to the place. They find the gangsters all there, and they think they could take advantage of Gelly, whatever way you want to say it. And they don't. They died. They all died. At least the ones that were with her, and then the rest of them got whooped by the counters.
Yes, which is nice to see, because I was just like, y'all need a dub.
Right. Yeah, because they're not. Unfortunately, it was against humans, so it's not like it was really much of a battle.
Right.
And Gelly finds out that in that moment that Jokbung can smell her.
Yeah.
And that makes her nervous, and she ran.
Yeah. Yep. She did run.
She like I ain't trying nothing. She takes off.
She also used the valve to hinder Jokbung's smelling.
Right.
She is actually very crafty about that, because remember, she was running away from him.
I'm trying to understand how that affects his smelling.
I have no idea.
Because I'm like, if it's steam, it burned his face.
Yeah.
But if it's some kind of like gas, I can see it. Like if it was like propane or something. You know how propane smells like rotten eggs, or this gas from your.
It could be
from yourself, and I can see that. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's such a potent smell. At the same time, demons apparently smell atrocious to him, so I would imagine that smells even stronger than whatever. If somebody farted in his face, it probably wouldn't smell as strong.
It has to be something that hurts him.
Something happened.
Yeah.
But I saw that was pretty interesting. And she went back to Mr. Huang and let him know that she finds out who has their money, because they're looking for this money. Kind of weird that they're looking for money, being that you're just evil spirits. It's like, what do you even want money for? But
that's the whole reason as to why they believe because they're greedy, right?
Well, true, but it's like, by this point, who's in charge? The person or the evil spirit that possesses them?
Oh, that's true.
And why would the evil spirit itself want money? Now, unless he wants money in order to manipulate the world to its will, because money is power and power is whatever they say. Corruption. I don't know what
money is the root of all evil. Is that what it is?
No, actually, it's the love of money is the root of all evil.
Oh, there you go.
That whole situation.
And there we go. We answered it.
I guess so.
And because they love money.
They're
evil.
Because they're evil, they love money.
Yep.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. There you go.
Mystery solved. I now understand why they want their money. But yeah, so that's the whole situation is happening. And we have Mr. Ma back in prison because he decided to plead guilty is pretty much what he did. And I believe in the last episode, or one of the last episodes, Mr. Ma whoops one of the inmates because they were bugging him, and they started talking about his family, and he kind of just whoops them in front of like the quad, right? Mm-hmm. So here we are. So he's in jail again, and he's just having the worst time of his life.
Completely.
The evil spirit. I kept calling it a demon, but because in the show they don't call it they just call it an evil spirit. So I'm just gonna refer it as evil spirit.
And he shows up, right?
Right. She's just constantly just badgering him about just give in to me, just give in to me. It's pretty much all she's saying, and he's like, "Nah, girl, leave me alone."
She's like, I'm good. I don't need you.
No.
And I was just like, I think that's really what sets him apart from most people who are possessed.
Right.
Is because he may have his rage, but his rage is like from a place that everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, he's mad, you know.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the issue, right? With because like you were saying, anybody else or all these other people who have been possessed by evil spirits are give into it quickly. They're consumed by it quickly. But it's because they themselves are evil, right? Most of those people, I'm assuming all of those people are all evil. And that's why it's easy for the evil spirit to like mesh with them and take control of their body. But Mr. Ma is not the same. Mr. Ma is not a bad evil person. He's not even, he's a good person, a wholesome person who has nothing but kindness and love for the people around him.
Yep.
And it's just because he lost his family that he's in this point of like of misery and rage. He has all this rage that he needs to he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yep.
Right? And so that's why the evil spirit hasn't been able to consume him, because he's technically still a good person. He doesn't want to harm people. He doesn't want to hate. He doesn't want these things. He just hates this one specific person, which is Mr. Park, who he assumes is the killer of his family. And I mean, to some degree he is, because he is the one that cut her, but not because he wanted to, but because he was forced. So we have this whole situation with him. And so here's Mr. Wong Getty, and they invade the prison or break into the prison.
Yeah, sometime at night.
Yeah, like
I was like, how do you guys even do that?
Because they're freaking evil spirits,
I was
man.
like, why do you guys even need the money
They just, like,
anyway?
Right, but now we know. And they go there because they know that Mr. Ma has an evil spirit inside of him, and they're like, ooh. And on top of that, Mr. Ma is their best friend, or they love him greatly. So Mr. Huang is like, if I can use him to destroy Soma and the rest of the counters, game set match.
Right. Because Mr. Huang, he does everything.
He sucks. You can't fight him.
Weak. Yeah, he's a good strategist.
Yeah.
And because of that, he's able to manipulate the board the way that you say. And I think that's actually really cool to see in his character, because you only think of, I only thought of him as this battle junkie, this dude that loves
like all
to
the
fight.
other ones.
Yeah. He always wants to scrap. That's basically what it is. And he thought him and Somon to be like equal, and then he realized that Somon and him are not.
No,
equal.
they're not equal. No. You about to get whooped too, just
exactly.
like any other evil spirit.
Right. What was that? Episode 3.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was really good. So here he is inside of the prison, trying to, and the reason why is to convince. He wants Mr. Ma to give in to the evil spirit, so that the evil spirit can manifest and then control and whatever. And then use that to disadvantage on the counters. So he goes in there and he pretty much tells him like you want to know the truth, right? Well, I'll tell you the truth, but you got to kind of give in. And he's like, I'm not giving in to this demon or the evil spirit. And so they kind of fight. I don't know if you want to call it a fight, but they kind of fight.
They kind of, sort of, because
more like when a grown up fights with a child, in the sense that the grown up just puts the child on their lap and whoops them.
Yeah, and the parent also can stop them in midair.
Yeah, with a psychokinetic
or the Force.
Yeah, Darth Vader choke. Right.
I am your father.
Right.
That's exactly. Well, especially whenever they hold it out, him or Mr. Huang and someone, they always do something like they're about to play piano.
Maybe because they do play piano.
You know what? Maybe they do.
And it's just a natural hand position for them.
Yeah.
When the hands come up.
This is a C major. C major with a B bass. No, I think that's sorry, you go.
That's hilarious. But yeah, so that whole situation happens, and obviously Mr. Mog has no way to fight Mr. Huang because he's not possessed. He doesn't. He gets the power every once in a while when he allows his rage to take control, but it's still like weaker than Mr. Huang.
Very much at bay. He keeps it at bay.
And so Mr. Huang just pretty much said, if you want to know the truth, you know what you got to do. Period. That's it. And then they left.
Yeah, they just dipped. Like Mr. Mao's like, was it Mr. Park? Mr. Park did it. Mr. Huang goes, yeah. And the way he said it too, I was like, I would never have believed you. I was like, you're here beating me up, and you want me to believe you all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, I was like, there's so many red flags in this situation that doesn't make any sense.
He's blinded by rage. That's the only thing you can say. He's blinded by rage.
Yeah.
On the other side of the wall, the prison wall, you have Soma who's talking to his grandma, and his grandmother finally gives up the secret that Mr. Ma and her had, which is why she got so attached to Mr. Ma.
Yeah.
And it was because when she was having a moment of like was it dementia? I don't know what. Does she have dementia? The grandma?
Yes.
Right?
She has dementia. Yes.
So in one of her episodes of dementia, she sees her daughter and she's on the side of the thing. We saw that part already in one of, I think like the first or second episode. And Mr. Ma's the one that saved her from falling over. And in their secret was that Soma's mom sent Mr. Ma to the grandmother in order to make her happy, to be that the feeling of that hole in her heart, right? Mm-hmm. Of missing her daughter. And so that's why she got so attached, because in her mind, she believes it was her daughter who sent Mr. Ma to her. Mm-hmm. As a surrogate, right?
Right.
So I think so we find out that, and you're like, oh, why, Mr. Ma? Why did you?
I know, and you see him all smile. He's still kind of smiley face about it when he was talking to someone's grandma on the roof. You know, it's like, it's okay. You know, like that super innocent smile.
Yeah. The thing that Mr. Ma is.
Yeah, the foolishly innocent smile that that Minji fell in love with, so to speak. And so you definitely feel a type of way when you look at Somon's grandma, you know, like she wants to know where her oppa is, which is kind of strange, because I'm like, is she like,
well, it's interesting
because she don't call Somun oppa, she don't call Motak oppa, she only calls Mr. Ma oppa.
Also, for all the Korean speakers out there, is usually for a younger girl to an older guy.
Yeah.
Or, sister to older brother. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting for me to see her call him Oppa when she's older than him. Because I know there's different ways of saying, like Imu.
Imu?
Oh, no, not Imu. Yeah, Imu is a bird. I forgot the word.
What's it mean?
Emo. Not Imu. Emo. Which is like older sister.
Other than Nuna.
For a younger girl to an older girl is a Emo. A Nuna is a younger boy to an older girl is a Nuna. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Oppa is for a younger girl to an older guy, and I don't know what it is for an older
a younger boy to
a younger brother, a younger boy to an older boy, or the other way around.
It's young. Hyung, yeah.
Oh, you might be right. And then I don't know what it is for an older girl for a younger. So that's technically what she should be calling him if she wants to call him, brother. But. Mm-hmm. That's beside the point. I mean, she loves him so much because of her daughters. So that's why that's probably why she wants to call him Oppa.
Mm-hmm. At first I thought it was weird, and then because I believe the grandpa was talking to, I forgot who he was talking to about it. Is it okay that your wife calls him Oppa? He's like, yeah, it's fine, man. He's like, we old. She can call him whatever she wants.
Yeah, and I mean the grandfather is just a sweetheart on his own. He's always there for Somu. I mean, remember season 1 when he was there for him the whole time.
Yeah, fellas, that should be like that should be your goal, to be like that kind of husband. He'd take her out, and they all do all these things. He takes her out to do the medicine stuff. He feeds her and all that good stuff. That's the goal right there, fellas. With your wifeys, with your waifus.
You don't listen to this part. Skip ahead.
That's the ones, y'all. Till death do us part, right?
Yeah. We're gonna move on from there. So let's talk about.
Oh yeah,
right.
We get a little flashback of Hana's past, of when she was in high school, because I believe that was the last thing she was a high schooler before her coma, where her family does the whole family suicide. And there was a student named Park Do-hui.
Wait, that's how her family... I totally forgot her backstory. They committed a whole family suicide? Yeah. That's horrible. Mm-hmm. Dang, that's sad.
That's why,
that was in season 1. Mm-hmm. I think I remember...
She was very embarrassed about it because of that, because,
I remember Miss Chu's backstory. That was super sad for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
right? Because her son died, and she was
I believe it was a bridge accident. They fell in water, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. But
go on.
Anyway, so her classmate, Dohi,
Dewey.
Let's call him Dewey because I don't know how to say his name properly. Dewey. All right, that's his name. And she apparently had a crush on this guy.
They had a crush on each other.
Well, she didn't know that though. At this,
No.
in the storyline, you see that. Oh, actually, she had a crush on him, and she liked listening to his piano and all that good stuff. And they would always talk and exchange niceties and whatnot. Because of that, Dewey also liked her, but she never knew that because he was just like, I'm gonna learn this because she says she likes it when I play piano, so I'm gonna stick to it. And he did. And then after the whole episode with her family, he was there by her bedside. And
yeah. Every day.
Every day. Mm-hmm. He was ready to marry her. See, he was
in a coma or not.
Yeah, he's like, yo.
Only because it was illegal to probably do it in a coma because there's no consent.
And then all of a sudden, one day he comes in, she's gone because the counters took her. The counters took her. She gained curly hair from her super straight hair.
Yeah, the curly, the counter curls.
The counter. And so you see that they reunite because reunited and it feels good. And you see Hana uses a certain path to work out, and she passes. And the two little girls that realize that their piano teacher and the girl outside working out could possibly be boyfriend and girlfriend.
So they were arguing about it.
Yeah, they're like, no, he's mine. Like how little girls do with their piano teachers. I don't know. And,
is that why you're a piano teacher? You, the one who's you know who you are.
You should be
is that why you're a
ashamed of
piano
yourself.
teacher?
How damn kidding. Anyway, you see he's trying to look for Hana, and then they eventually see each other, and then she gets super scared. And it was funny too because he's like, he looks up and then he sees that she calls out his name, and then she gets surprised, and you just see her out of nowhere just gets like super shocked,
startled.
Yeah. And what's funny is I was thinking of today's webtoon, which is another K-drama that Sejong is in, or the girl that plays. And I've seen her expression after being shocked, and it's being completely different. It's kind of funny because as a counter, she became a little bit hardened. So like, it's not like she hasn't let loose yet. So she's a little stiff on it, and I like that part because later on in the episode, you see her relaxed state, which you never really do see. Yeah. When she's with Somun, when she's with Jukbong, Miss Chu.
Usually very serious.
Very serious. And she reminds me of a girl that drives a motorcycle.
She reminds me of a girl.
Got rid of the whole world. We're going to so many musics or songs, But I just feel like she's a motorcycle chick, and like throughout the whole time, like the whole thing. So when she got scared a little bit, obviously, like her heart still feels for the guy. He looks the same, even though they probably recorded it around the same year. So it's not like they look that much younger.
They're also Korean, so they don't really age.
Yeah, they age until like maybe 50, 60.
Right. Then you start going like, oh. Although I did, which one did I just watch? I just watched a Korean drama, and the actor in it was playing some old person, and I'm just like, why is this guy playing an old guy? And I'm like, he looks like he's like in his 40s, and I looked it up, and he was like almost 70 years old, and I'm like, gosh. Oh. What? Jesus. How do you look this good?
Yo, man.
What are you doing? He was ripped. He was ripped, and he just looked young as heck. And I'm just like, bruh, I don't know what you're doing, but power to you, man. I don't know what you're doing. That was crazy. But yeah. Go on.
Ripped, huh?
Yeah, he was like, I mean, ripped in the sense that he had like, you could see his six pack. He was in really good shape.
Do you not remember the title?
I can't remember what it was.
For the interested folks out there, I see you. You're nasty.
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Nasty, ripped old man, 70 that's playing a 40-year-old. You said?
Yeah, he was almost like 70. I think he was like 66, 68, somewhere around there.
Dang.
No, he wasn't playing a 40-year-old. He just looks like he's 40.
Oh.
No, he was playing like someone of that age, but I'm like, why is he playing an older person when I think he's like only 40? And then when I see it, I'm like, oh no, you just look 40.
He got a full head of hair and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I just watched one too called My Father is Strange, and the two older dudes, their wives, or no, not two of them, but the main guy, his mother-in-law, she didn't look that much older than but in the movie or in the show, he was 60 years old, and so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine how old his in-law is because the daughter's only 2 years younger, right? Mm-hmm. And then I saw on her page, on her Asian wiki that I, get all the cast information, she was like 74, 78.
Dang.
And I'm like, whoa. I was like, because of the way that they kept her hair, I was like, I believe it. But she didn't look that. I was like, I would say she looked younger than the age that the two were.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
If they didn't do her hair the way they did. Because I'm just like, she looks pretty good for 74.
That's crazy.
Whatever's in the water in Korea, let me get some. It's not Pocari. I drank that. Okay, all right. Where were we?
So Hana and Dewey go on a date. She's very nervous about it too. She's like, I don't know if I want to do it, but she shows up eventually, and the guy's been waiting at this. I mean, you know what? Nobody should be surprised. He went to her bed every freaking day when she was in coma. And I don't even know how long she was in a coma, but I think it was for a long time.
Yeah, I think it was 6 months.
Yeah, and he went every day.
Bought her new flowers.
Yep.
In America.
The boy knew how to do it.
Call that, that's simping right there. He's
he
like, yo, when she wake up, I'm gonna confess.
Right.
She wake up.
Except he wasn't there when she did.
Yep. It was a counters. Mr. Mochak and Miss Chu.
Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah, they were. I'm pretty sure she was. She was probably disappointed when she didn't see him there. Thought he moved on with his life. She didn't know.
She definitely didn't know. She didn't know.
But so they went on a date. But then Soma's friend, what's his name?
His best friend?
Yeah, the guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man, I forgot his name.
I think it's the other direction. No, it's further. It's down this way.
Oh, this way?
Yeah, it's in right there.
Ongmin
is like riding his bike around, right?
Yeah.
And she sees him. He's like, "Oh crap!" And so she kind of like hides her face because she's like, "I don't want people to know that I'm dating this guy."
Right.
And because if he found out, he's gonna tell So Moon, and So Moon is gonna tell the whole counter group, and this is gonna be a whole thing for them. So she's like trying to hide that from them. They run away. He's chasing them.
Oh yeah.
He's like, that girl looks familiar to me. I think that's Hana.
Yeah.
And he even calls So Moon, and he's like, yo, I think Hana's with a dude. and So Moon's like, nah, homie, that can't be.
Impossible.
She ain't like, she doesn't want to, she's not interested in that kind of stuff. He's like, trust me, I tried. No, I'm just kidding.
Which is another thing. Who the heck is Du Hui all of a sudden? Why is he showing up? I had a ship. Okay, I had a ship going down Somun and Hana. Okay.
Yo, you and me both.
Dude.
You and me
why?
both. You and me both. And my wife kept telling me, like, Somun is not gonna be with Hana. And I'm like, no, they're gonna be together.
Yeah.
Somun and Hana are not gonna be together, Leo.
You wait until I find the webpage.
And then Doi shows up and she's like, that's gonna be her man. And I'm like, don't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Like, no.
That's for Somun.
Someone's girl.
But except
Jukbung?
Yeah, Jukbung thinks it's his girl. He's like, he's trying to
because later on
see.
Miss Chu and Jukbung find the two.
Right.
And then he's all to Miss Chu, Jukbung to Miss Chu is like, he's like, can't you see this heart is broken right now? Care for me.
But she's super happy. Miss Chu is super happy because she said this is her real self, right?
Which is the non-stiff version. Which
she was having fun trying to get one of those toys from the claw machine. You know what I'm talking about. You never win in any of those games. If you're a winner of those games, tell me your secret because I don't know what you do. But Dewey also beast at it. He had like 100 freaking stuffed animals.
Yeah, for real. I was like, okay.
But she didn't want any of them. Okay, he offered. She didn't want them. She had her own pride. She's like, nah, I'm gonna get my own, and she eventually did.
And didn't she give it to him?
No, she was just super excited. But
the one that she won, didn't she give it to him?
If she did, I didn't remember.
I don't remember either.
But
it's been a while.
That whole situation is happening. Back in the prison side, we got Mr. Ma, who's now in the infirmary. Thank you. Man, that's a hard word for me to say. Yeah. Infirmary, right? Because he just got knocked out. And they found him outside of his cell. They're like, what the heck?
Knocked out all of a sudden with blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, they had no idea what's happening. So he's there. And the 3 punks that he beat up earlier. Okay, this is hilarious. Look at the stupidity here. They come back and they're like, "We're gonna beat you up because you embarrassed me." And I'm like, "Bro, you got whooped
with all of them there.
with everybody there." And your homies were there too, and they got whooped. And you think you're gonna be able to do it in private?
Right? Yeah. It didn't make any sense to me.
You are dumber than the dumbest, bro.
And you see, they all see that now he's using his psychic ability. Before it was just his hands. You know, he didn't use evil spiritness.
Yeah, he just rage. What he whooped them with the first time.
Yeah. He was like, whop, whop. And okay, so this is what's also strange is that Mr. Ma is a firefighter. Firefighters. I met firefighters when I was in high school. Those dudes are strong.
Yeah.
And the chicks too, they're strong. And I remember this one firefighter dude, his arm was like as long as my leg and freaking just massive. It's like, you know, you got to be able to hold out or like run out with the people that you save and whatnot. I'm like, oh, that's right. You got to be super like strong with that.
Well, not only that, if you think, okay, you have to carry the hoses, which weigh anywhere between 50 to 100 pounds, depending on how long they are, right? On top of that, you're carrying your fire suit, your air tank, maybe carrying people out if you need to. Like, you... don't fight a firefighter.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
I was like, firefighters, they're the realest, dude.
Fight a cop.
Yeah.
Don't fight a firefighter. They're called firefighters.
They fight elements.
Their title.
You know, they ain't got no water fighters. You know, no, none of that. They can't fight water. No wind fighters.
Take them to the water. See how it goes. I'm just kidding though.
You know, there's no earth fighters. There's only firefighters.
Yeah, no.
So it makes it was weird that these guys, because everybody in the prison should know who he is. I don't know how information really runs in there, but it should have been found out that he's a firefighter. It did make sense that they came in as a group. Once Mr. Ma was like, I am now an evil spirit. I will take care of you 3.
Well, at first he didn't. At first he was just laying there and whatever. But the moment they started talking smack about his family again, and how he couldn't protect his wife and he couldn't protect Treasure and all this stuff again, it was over.
Snap.
In his mind, obviously, the evil spirit was like, "You gonna let them talk to you that
way?" Right. I
wouldn't think that trash. That's pretty much what she said. And it's like, "Let me in." And he was like, "Bet." And that's when he went ham on these 3. Yeah. I definitely thought that he killed all 3 of them, but he didn't absorb their souls or whatever you want to call it, right? Their essence.
I think he knocked them out. But
yeah, after rewatching it.
Then that third one, the third guy.
Third guy, I'm convinced he killed him.
It looked like he did. However, he didn't suck his soul.
Definitely didn't suck his soul. But okay, later on, Somun's spirit guide, I forgot her name.
Gwen,
yeah, something like that.
Wiegand.
Yeah, Wiegand.
Yep,
Wiegand. She says that he can't kill anybody because then it'll awaken. So I guess he didn't kill that last guy, but he crushed his head enough that he passed out. And he passed out with his eyes open. So I don't know. You tell me. Can you pass out with your eyes open, or do your eyes automatically close when you pass out? Because I know you can die with your eyes open, but I didn't know you can pass out with your eyes open. So you let me know if that's a possibility.
So yeah, is he dead or not?
Is he dead or not?
The soul wasn't absorbed.
At the same time, with that happening, Somun is at the prison because he's dropping off some
picking up things.
No, I think he's dropping off because his mother gave him the hats and clothes and stuff so he could wear it. I guess winter's coming.
Signing it up.
Yeah, so he was leaving that. He leaves the prison, and Mr. Ma is also leaving the prison.
Same time.
Same time.
Besties, right? No?
Right. Except he is now, unfortunately, sadly, I have to announce that he is now given in to the evil spirit, and he is able to, he's like psychokinetically whooping all of the guards and everything, and he jumps over the wall. The jumping over the wall was a little rough for me. I'm like, why are you air running on the, like, there's nothing here. What are you doing? You should have just jumped up. The crane thing, loved it. I thought that was hilarious. But the running part, I'm like, I understand you're trying to do like, what's that movie called? Something Hidden Dragon?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah, I get it. You're trying to do that, right? But they're at least running on trees when they're doing it. They're not just running in the middle of the air. So that part was a little like, what? Yeah. So that's pretty much where the episode ends. He jumps over and someone's like, what?
Abuji.
What's going on?
Is it Abuji? Ajushi. Yeah.
Ajushi. Right? So that's where we end in episode 3. Episode 4 starts, or sorry, not episode 3. Episode 5. Episode 6 starts where that is, and they have a showdown. Mr. Ma versus Somoon. Mr. Ma kind of whoops him at first, but I think it's because Somoon is like I don't want to hurt you. You're Mr. Ma. Like you're my brother, right? But yeah, he's doing stuff in that whole attack thing though. The territory starts to show up. Mm-hmm. And Hana sees it because she's the one who senses all that stuff and says to the rest of the counters, I don't know if I want to see it right, but Mr. Ma is possessed.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Whenever Hana feels like an evil presence or within the territory, she makes it look like, you know, when I eat food.
Oh. That's the kind of look you make.
Yeah, well, when you eat, you're like,
yeah,
because
like, try it.
or like she has like a cramp in her neck or something like that.
That I can see.
But for me, I was like, it's like Jukmung with you.
Maybe everything revolves around food.
Maybe, you know, they always eat. They eat good.
They eat good.
If you've seen the amount of plates, I'll just like all the side dishes. That's got to take at least 2 hours to make. I'll just like that is a long, you know, that is a long situation. But then again, I know that a lot of Korean culture, they already have it made from like different times of the day. They're like we'll have kimchi that was already given to us from so and so's mom, and so we'll have that, and then like, oh, there's some bean sprouts that we didn't open up yet. Let's make that, you know, and then they'll just kind of all put it all together, and boom, you have like 16 plates on the table.
Yeah, they do really. My wife always talks that way. She's like, man, they always eat so like they have all the different variety of foods that they're eating, and they put it together and whatever. I have to say one thing for sure. I do not like bean sprouts.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
And the smell of bean sprouts, my church, whenever they cook bean sprouts, I cannot be in the same place as it. It's to me, the smell of bean sprouts is so bad for me. I cannot handle it. I'd rather smell kimchi over and over than bean sprouts. Bean sprouts to me is just an overwhelming power.
I grew up with kimchi, so
like you,
I
guess.
I was like, that just smells like a little bit of my house sometimes.
But yeah, so that's where we go with that. They're freaking out. They're having a fight. The guards come out like, we're going to shoot you. And it's interesting because even though Mr. Ma is now possessed, he still jumps in front of a bullet to save Somoon, right? So there's still a part of him that's still like engaged.
Very human.
Right. Yeah. So he stopped him from getting shot. And in that opportunity, as Somoon is trying to stop these guards from like attacking, using his powers, knocking the heck out of them, Mr. Ma escapes and everything. And we have that whole situation happen.
Yeah, and that was I thought the battle was kind of weird when the guards came out with all the guns and such. Yo, I didn't know they had live rounds in the prison when they shot Mr. Ma. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, that's a live round. I thought those were supposed to be rubber bullets, but I don't know. You know, maybe it's just for the show. But
why they don't? Are you saying that in Korean prisons they don't have live rounds?
In prisons in general, I thought they didn't have live rounds. I thought they were all rubber.
In the States, I'm pretty sure they're live round.
You sure?
They will shoot you.
Well,
not that I don't think they get a.
But they're prison guards, not the ones outside of the prison. Sure, but
I think that. The tower people, I think those have live rounds.
Okay.
I think if there's like a riot, a prison riot or something, then those are like rubber rounds for sure because they're not trying to kill nobody.
That's why I figured.
If somebody's trying to jump over a wall, I don't see anybody doing that.
I don't see that being a reason as to bring out the live rounds.
It's a live round. I could be wrong.
I'm sorry if I saw a dude jump like a 4-story wall. Yeah, I'll just say, yo, call the Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
We got something going on here.
Yeah, we got a situation. You know, we have a Sanji lookalike coming over here, but he has black hair instead of blonde. Airwalk.
Right. That's crazy. So he gets away. And obviously, Mr. Wong and Getty are they're freaking stalking this guy, man. They're just everywhere the whole time.
Yeah, literally right outside of the car that he's supposed to steal.
I'm like, how do you not see them? But what? That's beside the point. I don't care. I get it. You're actually 3 miles away and you can see it. Or whatever.
And the spirit and the evil spirit that's in Mr. Ma could also sense the spirits.
Yeah. He just doesn't want to say. She ain't trying to say nothing. She's keeping her mouth shut, right? But it's just crazy. So the cops are obviously trying to search for him, and they go to Mr. Ma's mom's house. Mr. Ma's house. Mrs. Ma.
Mrs. Ma.
They go to her house. They're like, "Is your son been here?" And then she's like, "No, I haven't seen my son." Say, "Well, you call us if your son comes." Obviously, that's what they always tell you to do. Will you? I don't know. It depends. If you think the person's
Big Mama's not gonna give up her son.
no. And he does show up after they leave. He shows up and pretty much kind of like
a farewell.
Yeah, farewell. To her, but she doesn't know that he's just there. And he's like, "Oh, Ma, can I have some kind of food?" I forgot what it was. He wanted her to cook for him. But in that process that she went to go cook, he leaves and he jumps over the wall and everybody's like, the vehicle that was stolen has been found next to Mrs. Ma's house, right? And they're like, "Oh, snap!" And they see him come outside. I'm like, "Bro, why you sneak in the house, but then not sneak out of the house? You just walk through the front door." And so all the cops are like holding their. This is another question I have. Because I don't know if it's because a Korean show issue or is it an actual thing. Are the only guns that police officers have in Korea revolvers? Because every police officer that ever pulls out a gun in any Korean drama that I've seen is a revolver. But during the fight between Mr. Hwang and So Moon was like a Desert Eagle or some kind of looking one of that sort. I'm not the best when it comes to guns, even though I play video games with guns, but it kind of looked like a Desert Eagle, but maybe a little bit smaller. Ooh, I just banged your mic, right? But I'm just like, why is it always a revolver? You only got 6 rounds in there.
Yeah.
And if you got to reload that sucker, unless you have the little reloading.
Yeah, no, I think, and some of the traffic cops from from other K-dramas, they have like a little spiral cord that's connected to their guns.
Right, yeah. I think some people can't steal them from it's stuck to their body.
I guess, but I mean,
or they can't lose them.
Springy then.
Or they can't lose it, you know? So it's like, shoot, it fell down. I don't know. But so they all surround him. They're about to shoot him, and he uses his telekinesis power, which I still don't understand how he has telekinetic powers too. But that's be fine.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know.
He has a lot of powers that I don't understand why he has them, and I will get to them, and I'll talk about them here in a sec. But that was the first one. It's like, why do you have telekinetic powers, bro? That doesn't seem like it's a natural thing for you to have. Right. But whatever. We'll keep going. He uses his telekinetic power. He's about to cause them all to pretty much kill themselves, right?
All the guns.
Yeah, all the guns are like turning against him. But then, obviously, because he's still human, and in reality, he doesn't want to hurt anyone. Remember, he's not a bad guy. He's on
vengeance.
He wants vengeance, and there's only one person he wants vengeance on, which is Mr. Park. Everybody else is just a nuisance. They're in the way, but he doesn't want to kill them. Even though the evil spirit is like, kill them. And he's like, do it. Yeah, he doesn't. He just kind of knocks them all out. And then obviously the counters come. They find all the cops knocked out. They're like, what the heck is happening?
Right.
The mom comes out of the house because she sees the whole drama happening, and she's like, what's his first name? We keep calling him Mr. Ma, which is his last name. Jusuk. Yeah. And she's like, Jusuk, you know. And he turns around, and I guess in that whole, she has some kind of medical issue. I don't know if she goes into cardiac arrest or what, but the stress of what happened causes her to pass out. And he leaves. You have Hana and So Moon come, and they're like, they see her laying there, and they raise the territory. He's running through the territories, and then he kind of stops because he senses the territories, and he turns around, and he can see Hana through the territory. And they're talking. Right? And they start talking to each other, right? Because she's the one who can sense where the territories are and everything. So I understand why she's the one. Even though So Moon is the one that creates territories, Hana is the one that senses them and is able to transform energy through it or whatever.
She is the more realized version of Getty.
Yeah. So there's that whole situation, and they start having a conversation. I'm like, why are you able to talk to her? This is the second thing that I'm like, how are you able to do this, right? And the third thing is, the only reason why Mr. Hwang was able to see territories was because he absorbed the counter's ability. Mr. Ma hasn't. He hasn't absorbed anybody's abilities, not even a single soul. But yet
that's his base form.
Yeah, and he's already able to use psychokinetic powers. He's already able to sense, not only sense, but see territories and talk through them, right? So my guess is just like how So Moon is the first of the counters who was able to use psychokinetic abilities. He evolved to have that ability. Maybe that's the same thing that's happening to Mr. Ma. Is the only thing that I can think of as a reasonable explanation for his abilities. Pretty much he tells her the same thing he told So Moon in court. Leave me alone. I'm gonna deal with this myself.
My final warning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, geez,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ma, getting nuts over here,
Yeah.
dog, you know?
So pretty much the rest of the episode is them looking for Mr. Ma and wondering when he's gonna go kill Mr. Park.
Yeah. And we see that the mom, Mr. Ma's mother, needs surgery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And so
So it is probably some kind of heart. She got like a heart attack or something.
yeah, something similar to that. Yeah, and they needed surgery done. And so everybody thought that Mr. Ma was going to go to the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go to them, or I'm sorry, everyone thought Mr. Ma was going to go to where Mr. Park was, the hospital Mr. Park was at. But he wasn't there. He was at the hospital his mom was at.
Yeah.
And then that's where you see Gelly.
Oh, this is my favorite. Yeah. This is my favorite part of this whole episode.
And Gelly and him are talking, and she's all like, you know, she's like thinking that he's a part of the team now, you know, like she's trying to be friendly with him a little bit, trying to be a little snooty and kind of like, yo,
she's trying to instigate him.
Yeah, recognize that I'm the sunbae here, okay?
Yeah.
Recognize. That's basically what she's trying to do. And all of a sudden the territory comes up, and then he just scoots over to the right, and she's like, you could see it already. She's like, I had to be an evil spirit and then get a counter to see it.
Right.
You know, and that's the only reason why they were able to avoid it for so long. And so she was already just surprised at the power, but she insult.
Yeah, she goes and says, pretty much talks about Minji, Minji and Treasure, and that's when he just. Boom! Just like, come over here, scorpion style. Just pulled her towards her, and like started choking her, and like puts her over the edge.
Yep.
And he pretty much tells her, "Keep my wife out of your mouth."
Ooh.
We could do that now, right? We could do that now.
Yeah, it's not too soon anymore. No way, dude.
But that's pretty much what he said. He's like, keep my family out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Because next time I won't restrain myself. In other words, I will chop your
Yeah.
head off with my hand. Mm-hmm. Right? Just like I did that guy in prison. Pretty sure he's dead.
You don't want the infirmary
You don't want none of this
scene again, all right?
Yeah.
You don't want these.
But that was probably my favorite part because I'm like, ooh, put that girl in her place. Like, Getty is like, oh, girl, you need to shut your face. Yep. Like, before you lose your other eye.
Or both eyes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that whole situation. And he leaves, and she's like, kind of pissed about it, obviously. But Mr. Huang is like, not only can he see the territories, but he also has the ability to talk through it for some reason. Because, like I said, they've been stalkering him. You know, they've been checking his IG all day and everything, and
double tapping every picture.
They're freaking out, man. They're being creepy. And here's the funny part: he's amping him up. He wants him to be strong so that they can use him to fight against So Moon. I'm waiting for that moment when he's so strong and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do it, and then Mr. Ma finds out that it was them two who did it, and he kind of like turns around and they're like, oh fudge, we done. Because he won't be Mr. Huang is not gonna be a challenge for Mr. Ma in that case. I don't even think honestly that he's a challenge for him now.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I think they're already he's above him in power.
It's right? because the beginning, the only reason why someone lost was because he was distracted and he was surprised. So he was taken by surprise, so that caught him off guard. Yeah. And then the guards came out, and then that distracted it. If it's just the two of them, someone got him by the ankles.
Oh no, sorry, I was talking about Mr. Ma and Mr. Huang.
Oh, my bad.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Ma is already stronger than Mr. Huang.
Oh.
You don't think so?
Actually, you know what? You could be right.
Maybe he's just not as refined.
But the spirit doesn't understand it, I think, right? Because the
evil spirit?
Yeah, the evil spirit in Mr. Ma, like, respects Mr. Huang.
I think it's because they're demons, or they're evil spirits in general, so they're like, hey, we're all brothers and sisters in hell.
There's no loyalty among thieves.
But so yeah, that whole situation is happening, and
and did you see Mr. Huang interrupt the surgery for the mom?
Oh yeah, that part scared the heck out of me. I was like, is Mr. Mom gonna about to die? Yeah. Are we about to kill?
And like all these nurses and doctors I think someone killed him, right?
He definitely killed the doctor. He freaking shot a needle in his neck, and I'm like, oh, that's messed up, bro. That's a horrible way to go.
Whoa, that's got it.
Especially if that needle was just filled with air. Oh, you're dead. An embolism, you're dead. You're gone, bro. You're dead. Ciao.
That's why I was just like, oh, jeez. And so
the difference between Mr. Ma and them two, right?
because Mr. Ma wasn't 100% under the spirit's control. Or the evil spirit's control. And that drove Mr. Huang like a little bit mad. He's like, yo, let's get rid of someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. He wants him to turn. He wants to go full out, black-eyed, evil spirit level 4,328.
He wants him burning like a cigarette. All right.
Yep.
That's what he wants.
And it's hard.
He gets close. He gets close to, killing, the Ajuma or the mom. And luckily the counters get there in time.
Yeah.
Miss Chu ends up healing her, but not the overall disease, right?
No.
She can only
because she was dying. Because remember, they unplugged her airway.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
And so she was dying. So she healed her from that. And, her nose was bleeding and everything. There was a whole another Soma almost dying situation. Mm-hmm. I'm like, is her hair going to turn pure white? It didn't. I was hoping it was, but it didn't. It would have been sick if it did.
Look like Saffron or something.
Just like crazy.
I'm an ardent children.
And my wife said the same. So this is what happened. So, they bump into each other, right?
Yeah.
So Moon and Jukbuk and Mr. Hua and Giddy bump into each other pretty much, and they keep walking away. And someone was like, "Oh, I gotta go after him." And my wife is like, "No, go check on Mr. Ma's wife, a mom."
Yeah.
Right. And right after she said that, Jumbo goes, "No, let's go check on Mrs. Ma first before we do anything else." And he's like, "You're right." And I'm like, "Dang, T, how do you know?" Like, they gotta go check on her first. Yeah. I'm like, you're right. They got to go check on her, and they use that as a distraction. The evil spirits to take Mr. Park.
Yep.
They took him, and they
end up at the construction site that seems to be like the regular
old
place.
Infamous construction site where all the stuff happens.
Everything happens there, like that fight when they first met Mr. or Wong, the young evil spirit
who got whooped.
He got smoked. Yeah. And then, then again, now with Mr. Park chilling in his gown, his hospital gown. And, he's all like trying to run away from Mr. Ma. He's like, yo, no, I'm like, I didn't kill her, da-da-da. I don't know what happened. And then Mr. Ma does the stuff that Gelly did to him by absorbing memories.
Right.
And I'm like, Mr. Ma can do that too?
Thank you.
Mr. Ma is like,
how does he have all the abilities without ever taking any counters thing? He has everybody's ability.
Yeah, he's like a counter, but has an evil spirit.
He's the super counter.
Yeah.
Because not even all of the counters have. I mean, the only ability he doesn't have is the healing ability. That's the only thing he hasn't been able to do yet, and I'm not gonna be surprised when he does it. But he has psychokinesis. He has strength, right? But all evil spirits have strength anyway. So psychokinesis. He has strength. He has memory reading abilities.
Yeah.
Telepathic abilities.
Yeah.
Right. Psychopathic.
Wait,
yeah.
No.
He's also psychopathic now, right?
He is also.
So he's got all these. He's got all these. The only two things he can do is make his own territory, which would be insane if he does. We talked about this, I think, in the first episode, that if they had the ability to make their own territories, that would be insane.
Why were we able to see the red territory? Remember in China, like we were able to see that,
right?
So I think. Is that foreshadowing?
No. I think the red territory was still the regular territory, the counters territory, but they see it red.
Oh.
They see it as red.
Okay.
Right? Because it's evil to them. Or harmful to them. Let's say that instead. Okay. It's harmful to them.
I thought
me too. I thought that he raised it himself or something.
I was like, what's the point in that? In my head, I'm like, what do you need the territory?
Unless he did. Because he did raise the water and everything. So I don't know.
That's why I thought. And that's why it gives me the question, or, I wonder... Hey,
did he do it or did he not do it?
Did he raise the territory, and what's the point of having a territory when you're an evil spirit? Because
let us know.
Because for the territory for the counters is to detect evil spirits. So if evil spirits can detect counters, the counters can also detect the evil spirits.
Yeah, it would be crazy stuff.
Counterintuitive.
Technically,
it would be a counterpunch.
But it doesn't even matter because technically, Mr. Ma already can detect counters through the territories.
That's true.
So he already has that ability.
But this is for more a question for Mr. Huang and his character.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Because
But so okay, sorry.
No.
But so they go he's about to kill Mr. Park, and So Moon and Hana are there. They're like kind of like, hey, don't, bro, don't do it. And they're trying to stop him from doing so, but he's not. He ain't about it no more. Yep. He freaking telepathy whoops their butts. They can knock out for a second, and he breaks Mr. Park's neck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Deleting him.
Oh, well, also, let's not forget that Hana is also impaled on the back.
Oh, yeah, when she gets pushed back, she goes into a bar,
bar? It's like a bar. It's like a
metal bar?
A metal bar or a pipe bar.
And I was like, oh, girl, why?
Yeah, like, oh.
I mean, she'll be okay for a little bit, but who knows how much damage that did. And so after he kills, absorbs his spirit.
The soul, or the spirit,
essence, soul, spirit, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now that's that the one thing that Wigan told Somun not to let happen, which is don't let him absorb a soul, because if he does, then the demon will the evil spirit will truly be awaken,
and
right, and become super. Become a true evil spirit. Don't let that happen, or else you're gonna lose Mr. Ma. And what just happened? Exactly what she said not to let happen.
Yeah.
And so now, and then the episode pretty much ends with Somun and Mr. Ma like using their psychokinetic powers against each other, and it looks like from that scene that Mr. Ma is not really working real hard. He's just like,
yeah.
And someone was like,
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, did he just exceed you in power too now? Is he
like
the
what's
most
going on here? Yeah.
creature to ever exist right now?
When I first saw how it looked like someone was like literally struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Right.
I was like, why does Mr. Ma get such a huge upgrade? Then again, when you have Somun and Mr. Huang the way that they are, I was just like, well, I guess having a third power makes the storyline a little bit more thicker, more juicier.
Third power as in
Mr. Ma. Mr. Ma is the third power that can use psychokinesis.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. And not only that, but he has a personal connection with all these people who don't want to hurt him. They don't want to kill him. They don't want to, because I'm pretty sure once you exercise a person, that person dies. That person is no longer alive, right?
When you summon
a evil spirit,
the human is
dead,
alive.
Oh, the
human spirit is gone.
The human stays alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, remember when I'm sure that they are alive. They're alive because remember whenever they do the summon, like in the first episode or first season, Somun's first was in like some kind of like garage, and you see the guy that is like they're summoning, and then they change it to like it was a heftier guy, like a bigger guy, and the bigger guy all of a sudden he gets sent up to where Wigan is right before he goes to hell or wherever it is that they go. The guy that summoned is a completely different person. No, he's very much alive. He just kind of like knocked out.
Oh, okay.
Because also let's not forget too the son of Jokbung's neighbor. He's not dead. Remember that was Jokbung's first summon. Yeah, he's not dead. Because the guy that he summoned was a completely different character.
Right. Yeah. I just thought that both the host and the evil spirit both get.
I think only after they eat a soul, maybe.
I don't know.
Because if they kill him, that's a good question. No, I don't know about after they're killed.
Let us know. What do the humans that are possessed also die in the process of being summoned? Or do they live? Because I swear I don't remember ever seeing any of the people after they get summoned, like the humans, not the evil spirits. So you let your boy know, okay? You let your boy know.
Let us know, because I'm pretty sure the people live because they summon the evil spirit.
Right.
Then again, we don't really see the host afterwards.
That's why I'm saying
all too much.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember if there was ever a host that came back.
Right.
At least to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person that I can think of is
they're all evil people, so they could have just gone to jail.
They're not only evil people, they're also people who are angry, people who are depressed, people that evil can feed off of, where they have those intrusive thoughts come out. That's where I think evil.
Yeah, but they still probably go to jail because they've killed people after the fact.
Yeah. for sure. And that's why I don't think that the kid that Jokbung summoned is gone, because I don't think he killed anybody yet. But we don't know yet.
But he's definitely in jail for attempted murder.
His
father.
On his dad. Well, I don't think his dad's going to press charges, even though he cut his dad's Achilles tendon.
Would you press charges against your son if he tried to kill you?
But he had an evil spirit, right?
Yes, but he must be evil himself in order to that happen. He's not a good person. The son is not a good person. For the evil spirits, remember,
maybe he's weak compared to Mr. Ma, because Mr. Ma's not an evil person,
right? But
and he crushed that dude's skull.
Right, but Mr. Ma is consumed by rage. That is what allowed the evil spirit to enter him.
That should be the same reason. That should be the same reason for the son, though.
And he tried to kill himself.
That should be the same reason for the son, though, because we don't know anything about. There's no.
You might be right.
There's no connection to.
You might be right. I don't know. You might be right though.
But maybe there's an explanation in the webtoon if I find it. I'm gonna find you, webtoon.
I'll find you.
I'm gonna find you. I know that's terrible. That's a Schmeagle now. You know. Schmeagle. But anyway, I think Mr. Ma's upgrade is a little bit too much.
It's coming out of nowhere, bro.
I was just like, how are you already half the team already? You know what I mean?
Mr. Wong and Giddy, go home.
Yeah.
They don't even need you anymore.
Mr.
He
Wong,
has all of your powers.
Mr. Wong is like Somun and Motak, just in a lesser version. Galley's like Hana, and then you have Mr. Ma now, who's on the he's like Somun, Hana, and Motak
put together
in one. And I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? However, because of his normal self is more in control, it's a lot easier for him. And I'm pretty excited to see what happens to Mr. Ma. Will he get more powerful? Like, you know how you're saying, like, will he
absorbs more souls, I would imagine.
And or if he gets what is that? If he also gets a power similar to Miss Chu, he's pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he needs the smell too, no?
Right, he needs to smell.
I can smell my people. I was like, I don't think you need to know. Yeah.
It tastes a little like
But yeah, so
cherry wood.
That is the next time, or at least that is the prediction that I'm going with the next couple episodes.
In the end of this, I don't see Mr. Ma living. I think Mr. Ma's gonna die in the end.
I'm wondering how Gelly is gonna be, because right now she's a little worried about how the money situation is, like how the whole reason they're in. I
hope Mr. Ma ends Gelly. She just talks too much smack.
Yeah.
She needs to stop. And I hope So Moon ends.
It's gonna be an interesting.
Or it could be Hana who ends. Hana might end Getty.
You think Hana might?
Because they're kind of the rivals right now. They're the ones fighting each other.
Yeah, because they're similar to each other. Yeah. But you never know. Could be Miss Chu that does it.
That'd be I mean, she already took out one.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, maybe not.
She took out Wong.
Yeah, she did. And I felt it was weird that she took him out. He was a younger one. I was just like, because there's also someone from the past that comes up for Miss Chu too in episode 6.
Yeah.
And so I think that
from her first mission.
Yeah. And I think that it was a really good way to kind of express her character. Like, she takes care of the young ones that remind her kind of like her son.
Yeah.
But that's alive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Do you have any other predictions? Oh.
I'm just scared for the future.
Well, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Anchor FM. You can listen to us every Monday on Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Radio, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out all the other videos that we've done. And don't forget, turn it to 11.